Justin Herbert with a wide receiving core. Guys were open. Quentin Johnson, one of his best games. Ladd McConkey. Guys were open all night. You can't keep winning one-score games. There is a randomness to it. Now, it's not like recovering fumbles. That's totally random. But there is a randomness to keep winning one-score games. One of the smart bets that the smart guys do in Vegas is teams that go like 8-1 in one-score games, bet against them the next year. Nobody does that. The AFC West is just too good. Denver played like crap and won. I mean, Denver was bad offensively. The Raiders go on the road, 3,500 miles, whatever. They win. Trust your eyes. Trust your eyes. The Ravens, Eagles, and Packers rosters look a lot better than Kansas City. A lot. Steve Spagnuolo is a great coach. He couldn't do anything. I mean, the Chargers were there to beat, right? They're banged up at receiver. They brought in Keenan Allen in August. He's 33. He's had like 4 surgeries that are grade 2 or 3 or above. 7 catches. Keenan Allen. Dude's a total baller, yes, but he should not have 7 catches. So, and by the way, next up on Fox, Philadelphia, and the Chiefs are a home dog. Okay? And Mahomes was amazing. Mahomes is going to get lost this past weekend because of what Josh Allen and Lamar did and Herbert did. Mahomes was unbelievable. Okay, but I'm not saying they're going to go 7-10. But Brady and Belichick and Randy Moss couldn't win a Super Bowl. Once you pay the quarterback, you got to start hitting on a lot of draft picks. And Rashee Rice is a hit. He can't stay eligible. Xavier Worthy, I mean, they literally couldn't get out of their own way. Travis Kelce ran over Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, I think if you watch that game, and I talked about this a little bit in the immediate post game on Friday, the thing that should concern you the most is actually the defense, because Justin Herbert was able to wheel and deal and do anything he wanted, really. I mean, there were guys wide open, and that's just not what you're expecting from the Kansas City Chiefs defense, because the Chargers offense is not flushed with weapons. Just listen to Nick Wright. He said it himself, and he's super duper mega, Kansas City Chiefs fan. So, and that's why, and the Chiefs can't say, oh, well, we had injuries. We don't have receivers. And it's like, there's a lot of teams around the NFL that are lacking with receivers. There's a lot of them. Okay. There's a lot of guys that are dealing with bad receivers. And, last year, and I'm going to say this again when we cover this for First Things First, Justin Herbert had no one last year against the Kansas City Chiefs in that second game. No one. Ladd McConkey wasn't even there. And no one said, yeah, but Justin Herbert didn't have any receivers. The Chiefs said, nope, Patrick Mahomes played better. Justin Herbert lost. There you go. Boom. So it's just like, if that's the route you wanted to take before, then you have to take this route this time around. And I think Patrick Mahomes had an uneven game. He was really, really inaccurate at times. Doesn't matter who you're throwing to. He was really inaccurate. He had awesome special moments as well, because it's Patrick Mahomes. Of course he is. But this team looked worse than I thought. Now, to be fair, with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy there, this offense will be absolutely undeniably transformed. But can the defense keep up with the Ravens offense, with the Bills offense? Like, that's the thing that I question, because if they're hanging all these points, if you get that Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson game, if Derrick Henry's rushing for 200 yards and Lamar Jackson's just 14 for 20 with 200 and some yards and 70 rushing, can this Chiefs offense keep up even with an Xavier Worthy and a Rashee Rice? I don't know. I imagine it's obviously going to be significantly better, but to me, the saving grace of this team over these last couple of years was defense for sure, and they had trouble slowing down Justin Herbert and the Chargers, which again, that offense I do not see that offense set up to be high-powered at all. Their O-line was injured. Pressure was getting to Justin Herbert. he's it's just like he's not sitting there flushed with pieces here. He's just not. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens offense looked way more dominant. Way more dominant. I mean, not even particularly close. The Green Bay Packers offense cooking way more. But it was just like you're looking at this and you're just like, oh, the Chargers are really comfortable offensively. And it's not just because they got the bodies, they got the dudes. Now, again, it's week 1. And that's why I also kind of cast that aside a little bit with Patrick Mahomes, because again, he was inconsistent, had a handful of really nice plays, but that kind of gives you an uneven game. And it's not to say that if Patrick Mahomes played better, then they win or this or that. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Xavier Worthy was a big part of the game plan and he got taken out. And it's like, yeah, but that stuff kind of happens. And the whole reason why everyone talks about Patrick Mahomes being as amazing as he is, it's like, well, you're supposed to find a way through that. I thought that's what you tell me that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have to do. Jalen Hurts won his game against a Dallas Cowboys division rival, and A.J. Brown and Devontae were practically not even there. He's throwing passes to wide receiver 3. That's why you always got to be careful with how firm you reach conclusions here, because every time a team wins or loses, everyone's always like, see, this quarterback, the team that won, they're like, that quarterback played better. That's why they won. The Ravens fans were all ready to jump on and say, Lamar Jackson played better than Josh Allen. Ha ha, he's the real MVP. But Lamar Jackson played unbelievable and he lost. And so the story of that game was not Josh Allen outdueled Lamar Jackson. And this game here, I don't look at it as just Justin Herbert outdueled Patrick Mahomes. Even though Justin Herbert clearly played better and his team won, I'm not like, oh, they won because Justin Herbert's just better than Mahomes. That's not my take at all. Not my take at all. But my take right now is the Chiefs did not look good. They did not look good. When you look at it, when you put it in perspective of all the other teams around the league, you're like, yeah, some teams played great. Some teams played not so great. And I expect a lot more from the Kansas City Chiefs. But this is another weird thing that we're in right now because, again, because of the injuries and suspensions. And, that offense is obviously going to be better when Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy are there. But again, he still had Hollywood Brown. He still had Travis Kelce. And if you want to say, well, Travis Kelce is a shelf himself, well, then that's on the Chiefs to figure it out. The Chiefs don't have to keep playing this game with Travis Kelce. They could grow up and say, sorry, bud, you're relegated to the background now, man. That's great. You're marrying Taylor Swift. Congrats. We love you. We're going to celebrate you, but what do you want us to do? We can't keep then elevating you like that. That's up to the Chiefs then. But then you see the defense fighting, Chris Jones fighting, Travis Kelce headbutting his lineman, and that's not leadership, and it's just not. You could say it all you want. It's just not. It's really not. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what this looks out. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying the Kansas City Chiefs are bad. I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is bad. I'm not saying any of that. Not saying any of that. The Chargers literally won this game, and I'm not saying that Justin Herbert outdoled Mahomes, and that's why they won. Not saying any of that. So do not come in the comments section and make up takes. But it's okay to say that was not a good game from the Kansas City Chiefs. Whether there was injuries involved or not, it was sloppy. It was ugly at times. And that defense could not take care of Justin Herbert and the Chargers. That's concerning. I think they'll be better as the weeks go on and as soon as they get healthy. But still, we can only judge with what we see today. I'm not going to constantly watch these games and just be like, well, I'm expecting them to be better in week 8, 9, 10 in the playoffs. In the playoffs, I'm done with that. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done with that game of just like, well, I expect them to be great in the divisional round, so I guess we'll just won't watch football then for the next 3 months. I'm not doing that this year. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes' week 1 loss against the Chargers? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.